Hello, good morning everyone, dear grade 6 students, males and females. I am teacher Ala Ilbini. I hope you all are well. I hope that everything is going well with you too. Now, our lesson for today is past simple be and can. As you know, we have done talking about verb to be before, which is was and were. And you had also an assignment, a homework yesterday. But my dears, before we go further, let me show you our objectives for today's lesson, and let me ask you too to open your student's book, page 51, please. Our objectives. Number 1, today we're going to revise past simple, verb to be, was and were. Number 2, we're going to learn how to use could and couldn't in meaningful sentences. Okay, my dear. Let's start revising the rule. As a reminder, my dears, this is the exercise that was in homework yesterday. Okay? It requires to complete the sentences using was and were. Was, were, wasn't, and weren't. And I'm going to do only the first two sentences together. The first sentence says they were at school, but they weren't in the classroom. So before you answer, I advise you to think about the sentence, the meaning of it, logically. So, in sentence number 2, it says, I at home on Sunday morning. I was on holiday. So logically, I takes either was or wasn't. The answer could be these or one of these two verbs, was or wasn't. The sentence is, I was or wasn't at home on Sunday morning. I was on holiday. So logically the answer is I wasn't at home on Sunday morning. I was on holiday. Number 3, today is Wednesday. Yesterday was or wasn't Tuesday. Absolutely it is was. So today is Wednesday, yesterday was Tuesday. To continue revising the rule again, I want to show you back this box about past simple be, which is was, were, was, or were or weren't. We say I, he, she, it, was in Dubai, you, they, and we were in Dubai. I, he, she, it, wasn't in Dubai, we, you, they, weren't in Dubai. Interrogative and short answers. Was he in Dubai? Yes, he was, or no, he wasn't. Were you in Dubai? Yes, we were, or no, we weren't. And now, let's start talking about could. Okay, my dears, before we do this box together, I want to go back to something else, which is this page. Let's start talking about could and couldn't. And as you see on the screen, could and couldn't. Could is a modal verb, and it is the past form of can. This is number 1. Okay. And to talk about some further details about could, we need to know how can we use it in the affirmative, negative, and interrogative forms. The sentence here says we use could and couldn't to express the idea of ability in the past. Yes, as we told you guys, could is the past form of can, so we need to talk about it, especially about the ability in the past. So like when I say I could do something, it is equal to I was able to do something. So could is the same meaning as was able to. Let's see some examples. Number 1. It says our cat was amazing. It could sing. This means that it was able to sing. Number 2. I was afraid of water. I couldn't swim. So this means that I wasn't able to swim in the past. And number 3. Could he play a musical instrument when he was a child? This question means that asking about whether he was able to play musical instrument when he was a child or not. Now let's go to know the form of the affirmative and negative sentences. As you see, my dears, the form of the sentence is here. We always start with a subject and we also end always with a complement, or sometimes we call it the object. But the most important part, as we say always, my dears, is the verb. How can we work with the verb? And the verb here today is could or couldn't, plus the base form. This is like a hint I want to tell you or remind you. If you go back to the back of your student's book, you will find the list of the irregular verbs, and you will find that the first column on your student's book is titled by base form, and we in general sometimes say it is verb 1. What is the correct form? The correct name of it is the base form. Base form, it means an infinitive verb but without to, like a play. As you see below here, the subject I, she, he, it, they, we, and you, all of the pronouns take could. Could is the model verb, and it is followed by play, which is the base form, the verb 1, and finally the complement or the object tennis. Let's see another examples. Ahmed could run 3 kilometers when he was 18. Yes. Number 2. Sarah couldn't draw professionally in her childhood. And number 3 says the citizens couldn't leave their houses because of the epidemic spread. Now let's go to questions. How can we form a question? Questions should be always start with a model verb or a helping verb, and because we are talking about could, it should start with the model verb could. Could plus the subject plus the base form and object, and finally the question mark. And as you know, my dears, we always flip the subject and the helping verb or the model verb we have in the sentence to change it to the interrogative form or the questions we call it. Okay, the other sentences. Could I, she, he, it, they, we, you play tennis with a question mark? And the 3 sentences below, they are questions now. We have changed the previous sentences we had in the previous page to questions. The same sentences are now questions. Could Ahmed run 3 kilometers when he was 18? Could Sarah draw professionally in her childhood? Could the citizens leave their houses? With a question mark. This is everything about could. Okay, my dears, I want to ask you to go back to your student's book again to do this exercise together. Past simple can. Affirmative, I, he, she, it, we, you, and they. The answer is could. See it. I want to show you the answers here. As you see in the box here, guys. Okay. It is 11. Very quickly, Yes, could, because it is an affirmative sentence. And now in the negative, I, he, she, it, we, you, and they. Take couldn't. Absolutely, yes. Couldn't see it. Interrogative and the short answers. Could I, he, she, it, we, you, they see it with a question mark at the end? And finally, the short answers for this question is yes, she could, or no, she couldn't. Yes. And this box talks about what? Talks about the piece of information I gave you at the beginning. It says we always use a base form after could. Okay? Not an infinitive. So, without to. It means that the infinitive verb has always to. The base form does not have to. So we use could plus the base form, which is without to. This is what they mean in your book. Finally, I would like to do this exercise only the first two sentences, and the rest of the sentences will be an assignment or a homework for you. Okay, my dears? Now, the first sentence say, let's start with the exercise. It says, write sentences about the people below. Use could and was together. The first sentence says, Buriya Singh, and by the way, my dears, this is an Indian name, okay? And as you see in the picture, the people in the picture looks like Indian people. Okay, Buriya Singh run marathons 3. These are the words. Now we need to form them by using these words by using the rule that we have learned. It says Buriya Singh could run marathons when he was 3. Now sentence number 2 says Maria Sharapova played tennis 4. Absolutely, I will form it, and after that I will show you the answer. The answer could be Maria Sharapova could play tennis when she was 4. Let's see it together. Yes, my dears, as I told you, Maria Sharapova could play tennis when he was 4. Okay, my dears. Now I can say that I have done talking or explaining this lesson for you, could and couldn't. Now I want to ask you to do the rest of these three, the rest of this exercise, sentence number 3, 4, and 5, to do it at home and to send it to me on K12 or by email. Thank you for listening, my dears, and I hope that you have enjoyed this lesson. Bye bye.